When it comes to the Bad Girls Club versus Baddies, in many conversations, the Bad Girls Club is regarded as the better show. Today, we're going to take a deeper look into both shows and figure out if that's true.
You need to walk away or you need to do something. You know what?
You're turning me on. I want to show you my boobs now.
Most of these girls are fans of Bad Girls. You know, let's be honest, all these girls auditioned for Bad Girls Club and did not make the cut. That's why they're in their 80s right now going on Baddies. Yeah.
The shortest girl, come stand right next to the tallest girl. Slap her. Well, I wouldn't either.
I fought Tink.
I beat her 4 or 5 times.
Who?
No, that's just my opinion.
Hey, it's Wildflower and welcome back to Wild Recaps. I remember the Bad Girls Club being one of my first trash TV loves. It came out in 2006, the same year that Flavor of Love aired. Now yes, The Real World came before them, but I don't remember that being as ratchet as the Flavor of Love and Bad Girls Club. The Bad Girls Club was a show on Oxygen that aired once a year. Every season, they would give us a new city, a new cast, a new house that we actually got to see a tour of. The Bad Girls Club was Oxygen's way of keeping up with reality shows on other networks. Like I said, The Flavor of Love aired earlier that same year, along with shows like The Real Housewives of Orange County, Robin Big, Keisha Cole The Way It Is, and The Hills, just to name a few. Baddies is Natalie's way of keeping her foot on people's necks, because as much as I really don't like the way she portrays herself, she has made a whole new brand from what we know her by best. Just in case you didn't know, Natalie started her reality TV career on the Bad Girls Club season 4. But Baddies started off with more than just Natalie. The story is that Natalie, one of the Victor twins, or maybe both of them, I don't know, Sarah, Oliver, and I think a few others, they were all supposed to go in on the show together in some type of way, or you know, all have a part somehow. But then Natalie ends up being the only one to actually do it. And I think this is after Blues Girls Club, which is a show Blueface did and premiered on OnlyFans, which pretty much has the same concept. Girls with little to no home training in a house together. See, on Baddies, there's a hierarchy of girls with Natalie, Rolly, and Jayla being at the top, in that order. You can add Scotty too after Jayla. These are some of the people that they keep bringing back on Baddies, and that's one of the main differences with each show. And that's why earlier when I was talking about Bad Girls Club, I emphasized that they aired once a year, because y'all know Baddies, one season ends, the next week, the next season is starting. They keep that thing rolling. And I like the work ethic, I really, really do, but is it not oversaturating us? Do we want Baddies to come once a year? Maybe twice a year. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think Baddies should air once a year, or do y'all like the way that they kind of keep it going? With the Bad Girls Club, you get a new cast each season, like I said, and this way we can have our faves, but the favoritism on the show is at a minimum, and the girls feeling like they don't have to do much to be entertaining is at a minimum. On Baddies, it feels like the OGs are just there to collect the check, because they start feeling like since they're a shoo-in for the next season, they don't have anything to prove, and that makes for very whack TV. The way they edit these shows, of course, affects the storylines, or lack thereof in Baddies' case. On Baddies, they drag scenes out to fill in episode time. On the Bad Girls Club, they cut out so many scenes that were too much for TV. For instance, allegedly, Katya from season 5 went home because the fight on the beach was much more brutal than shown. Now, the way they edited it to me looked like Kat didn't really do much, but honey, understand something. They can really edit things to how they want it to be, especially if they have a lot of footage. In the case of Katya at the beach, I believe it was for both the show and her protection that she went home. Another reason they cut it the way they did was to avoid cast members from another show that were filming at the same time at that beach, which was the Jersey Shore.
It's like hundreds of people yelling at us. We're definitely outnumbered.
We started a riot.
Oxygen was a more professional network in the sense that they did not allow uncensored nudity and smoking tweeds on camera. The fights were also more censored as well. Still good though. As a matter of fact, on the Bad Girls Club, if they fought good enough, they would have to go home. I do like that on Baddies, they can choose to run their fades, as they say, and get a fair one in. On the Bad Girls Club, the girls would do more regular things together, like go to the club just to enjoy, no performances. We saw them either pool guys or not.
If my picture was accessible, would you masturbate to me?
Probably not.
They would go have dinner and actually eat, go around town. This made the bonds between the girls seem more genuine, as well as the animosity towards others. The girls had the opportunity to show more personality doing these simple things. It made for more moments that were funny or shocking and not having to do with a fight. Again, we like the fights, but we like balance too. Another advantage that the Bad Girls Club had being on Oxygen was that they got more of a media push. We were reminded more of the episodes just by watching regular TV, whereas on Baddies, you kind of have to follow it to know when the new season starts. An advantage that Baddies has is being born in the prime of the social media age, so I don't think Zeus Network could survive without it. Twitter was around when the Bad Girls Club was around, but it was still really new at that time and didn't have the impact that it has now, at least for the earlier seasons of the Bad Girls Club. Thank you for watching today. Please don't forget to like the video so we can please the algorithm. Thank you. Some differences with each show that I don't feel are advantages or disadvantages would be the fact that on the Bad Girls Club, they did allow guests at the house. This sometimes aided in the drama or brought a sexual aspect to the show. People's boyfriends would visit. It was interesting. Now, on one season, Amber had an incident with Tiffany's friend that she bought over one night.
Uncomfortable, I react with humor or make things like playful to kind of like
And tell me that you don't remember and you felt offended and disrespected.
Now, just to make sure you're understanding here, Tiffany brought people over. One of the guys touched Amber inappropriately. She went to tell Tiffany about it and was met with attitude. Now, I have to admit, that was still hard to watch after all this time. So let me expound a little more on this Tiffany cookie situation. This scene I showed wasn't the initial scene. This was like the day after. I don't want to paint Tiffany as a victim blamer, although I don't like her initial attitude towards it, but I think she feels like since Amber wasn't sure where he touched her because she was drunk, Tiffany felt like there was no validity to her story. Tiffany also mentioned how Amber was talking all freaky to her brother on the phone. Now, personally, I don't think any of that matters. She was lying down after drinking and he definitely needed permission to touch her. If she was drunk, she probably wasn't sure where he touched her, but she just knew that there was an unwanted touch. On Baddies, it doesn't even get that deep. There's a situation with Slim and Rolly going on currently, but some people feel like Rolly is just being a bully and Slim deserves an apology too. Some people being myself. What else happened on Baddies that was like iconic and memorable but wasn't a fight? I feel like every memorable moment on Baddies is a fight. On the Bad Girls Club, it could have been a fight, an argument, a relationship like Aaliyah and that old guy from season 3. Maybe that's what they need to bring more genuine, exciting moments to Baddies, but I'm not sure. What do y'all think about that? Y'all think Baddies should allow guests like how they did on BGC or not? This differences segment is a lot longer than I thought, and there's more. Now, they weren't allowed to have their phones on the Bad Girls Club. Just a computer that everyone had to share that had a huge screen, so you really couldn't even use the internet privately. Of course, these superstars on Baddies can have their phones. We don't see them on the phone all the time, but I feel like the phones still contribute to the lack of genuine drama. Your phone can really offer a lot of comfort, and when you don't have that, you might be more likely to go off on people. As far as the promotion of these women who joined these shows, I remember seeing an interview where Jayla expressed that BGC producers would say they would help promote the brands on the show, but as we can see, that was a lie. On the Bad Girls Club, we saw nothing but these girls acting wild. We didn't know what they did outside of BGC at all, and if they had anything going on, because let's not act like everyone who came on one of these shows were Stunner Girl, meaning they had a following and even a career before Baddies or BGC. Some of them didn't have anything to know outside of the show. On Baddies, I feel like it's the same. I don't know what they tell the girls, but they don't seem to promote whatever they do outside of Baddies unless they do music. If you don't do music on Baddies, I don't know what to tell you. But to the very least for Baddies' case, you're going to get more followers from the show, so I feel like people find out what they do outside of the show on social media and then decide to support or not. Another thing about Baddies is that they aren't very sexual outside of maybe dressing revealing. And that's not even all of them, but the Baddies don't hook up with each other or other people on the show. But I guess how could they when half of the cast is rumored to being with Lemmy, the CEO of the network? Not BGC. Those girls were humping strangers. Y'all remember when one of the Ambers gave a mojob in a public bathroom?
sorry. I was trying to give a job, and like apparently I used my teeth. I don't know.
As far as getting paid, it's hard to tell what the differences are here. Again, Jayla expressed and Danny Victor confirmed that they were paid $500 a week. They said that in the beginning, the house was stocked with alcohol and everything, but when that ran out, they had to buy it themselves.
Like when we filmed Bad Girls Club, when we went to the club, we actually had to pay for that. Like everybody had to put in $50 for the bottles. Like Oxygen was not paying for that. Okay.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the girls said y'all got paid every week, and it was like $500.
We got paid $500 a week to be on Bad Girls Club, and they would always find reasons to like dock our pay.
As far as baddies, I have no clue what they're getting paid, but I think it's more. I wouldn't be surprised if there were different rates for each girl on Baddies. Another thing is that the Bad Girls Club gave us a range of ratchet. Okay, we had more white girls involved, and that, my friends, is good for balance and a more accurate depiction of reality. If you watch Baddies, it's very much Black and Latina and maybe a few question marks. The Bad Girls Club was more balanced with the girls that they casted. They really brought different personalities and different types of baddies in the house together, whereas Baddies kind of seems like they try to cast the same girl over and over again. It's like they want everyone to dress and act the same or something. If the Bad Girls Club followed that format, we wouldn't have girls like Annie, Flo, Blue. Y'all remember Blue from season 12? This is her now. Don't forget Dream Doll came from Bad Girls Club too. Y'all remember Tabitha?
Be like us. Growing up, I was always like the rebel child, always in trouble.
She's rapping now and about to have her first child, but that's where it started for her. I kind of went off on a small tangent, but my point this video is that the Bad Girls Club is the better show in my opinion. Now, when I say that Bad Girls Club is better than Baddies, I mean from the viewer standpoint, not behind the scenes with the girls in the network. Seems like there's always something interesting going on behind the scenes of these type of reality shows. The Bad Girls Club ended because of Oxygen basically changing the type of content from reality TV to more like a true crime vibe. I mean, it went for 17 seasons, so like I said, eventually they did experience a decrease in views and multiple lawsuits, including the one involving Jayla and the Claremont twins from season 14. If you want me to make a video about that situation, what happened on season 14 with all their stuff being ruined, please let me know in the comments. If I get enough people who want it, I will make the video. The Bad Girls Club had spin-offs as well. I don't remember watching them all, but I remember particularly liking the Bad Girls Club All-Star Challenge. I think that may be the first time we've seen Natalie in the house with girls from other seasons, and they did challenges that were fun to watch, not the BS they do on Bad vs. Wild. I'm also counting Transforming Rolly as a baddie spinoff, which sucked too. I want to know down in the comments if you used to watch the Bad Girls Club, or did you hop on this train when Baddies came along? I'd be surprised because it seems like many people who watch Baddies watch it because it's the closest thing we have to the BGC. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments, okay? Do you agree that the Bad Girls Club is the better show than Baddies? Do you agree that the Baddies try to act like superstars, whereas, you know, the Bad Girls Club were like regular girls? You know what I mean? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next recap.